Welcome back, crew, to beautiful Haulover Inlet and Boats versus Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down here at Haulover Inlet, Miami, Florida. Today we got a light chop and a 15-mile-an-hour wind. Let's see how our captains fare as they step in the ring to do battle with the inlet. And this, of course, is going to bring us to the first round of our contest. And here in the first round, the boats are going to toss a Larson in the ring to try and do battle with the inlet. But let's get this competition rolling and see how they fare. And this crew may be in trouble early. We've got several things going on, but we're going to start with the key one, which is we got a bunch of kids in the bow, and not all of them are wearing life jackets. And we know that's against the rules here at Haulover. But Dad steps behind the helm, and he's going to try and make it out. And let's see if our crew can get their Tri-Toon lake boat out of Haulover Inlet on a semi-rough day. So far they look okay, but they are taking wave after wave over the bow of this vessel. Once again, it's just basically nosediving into every wave in front of it as they try to work their way out. We've got one of the kids up front freaking out, so they're trying to get everybody moved back, which is probably the best plan for this crew. Get as much weight in the back of this vessel as you can, but the next best plan for this crew is go ahead and pull that patented Haulover U-turn, turn this thing around, and get back in and head back to the sandbar. But here we can see everybody looks okay at first as they're working their way out, and then all of a sudden, everybody starts getting blasted in the face with water as they start taking those waves over the front bow of the boat. But here's where things really start to go wrong for this crew, as they've lost the front door of the pontoon now. So the one item that was there keeping some of this water out of the boat is now useless, as it's been knocked off the pedestal it was hanging on, and now every one of these waves that they're going across is actually coming up onto the deck of the pontoon. Now, I already know all you tuner boys are down there in the comments ready to roll, saying, don't worry about it, you can't sink a tune. Well, I'll tell you what, you absolutely can rip one to shreds, as this crew's proving by getting that door knocked off. Finally, they're getting it turned around, ready to start heading back into Haulover, and again, with the following sea, we wind up stuffing it heavy, and this crew is just having a heck of a time. Unfortunately, in this situation, we know how this one ends. We broke the cardinal rule, we had some kids in the bow with no life jackets on, and we've stuffed the bow multiple times, and unfortunately we know this crew is going to easily wind up taking a loss for the boats. But the real question is now, can they make it back into Haulover? I mean, maybe the thought of having the fenders out on the side will help keep the boat afloat, but eventually they do get it up and going a little bit. They make their way back into the inlet, but again, this is a loss for the boats. Now, of course, that's going to move us to the second round of our contest, giving Haulover the 1-0 edge as we move in. And of course, the boats are going to step it up here in the second round, as they're going to bring a Hydra-Sports into the ring to see if it can get them on the board. And here we go. Cap's got the throttles opened up on this one. Full send, engaged. Cap's getting air as he makes his way toward the mouth of the inlet. The crew starts to work on their approach, and this boat is absolutely eating up anything in front of it. They start to make their turn on approach, and this crew is going to have absolutely no issues whatsoever as they work their way into the mouth of Haulover Inlet and take a win for the boats here in the second round. And this, of course, is going to bring us to the third round of our competition, and here in the third round, the boats are going to toss a Techno Hull in the ring to try and see if they can go ahead and take the edge over Haulover. But let's go, round 3, and our crew's working their way out. The boat's barely up on plane, looks pretty solid right now, and all of a sudden, our crew, it looks like they stuffed it. They did. The front nose of the boat just barely goes under that wave, and that is gonna be just the smallest hair of a stuffing, but that's all it takes. We don't rate the stuffings, we only find out if they did or didn't, and our crew stuffed it, and they're gonna wind up taking a loss for the boats here in the third round. And that's gonna bring us to the fourth round of our contest. Haulover now carries the 2-1 edge, and the boats are gonna try and get this one tied back up, as they're gonna bring a pro line in the ring to try and see if they can get back on the board here in the fourth round. And man, our crew takes a smack up front. They are hugging the north side of the inlet, which is a good idea. Gonna give you a little softer ride, but man, Haulover's throwing some punches at them, that is for sure. The crew starts working their way out. They're heading out into the rollers now, and they're flopping everywhere, but they're keeping the bow up. And fortunately for this crew, it looks like they're gonna sneak out just barely, and wind up taking a win for the boats here in the fourth round. And that will bring us to our fifth and final round, tied at 2 apiece. And here in the 5th round, the boats are going to go ahead and toss a Boston Whaler in the ring to see if they can go ahead and pull off the upset victory over Haulover. This crew is taking the slow roll approach. I don't know how that one's going to pay off for them. They really need to get on the throttle and try and get that bow up. Right now, that slow roll approach is giving them the opportunity to stuff it in one of these bigger waves they're going to hit as they get closer to the outside of the inlet. Now they're starting to turn toward the north side of the inlet so they can get out of the middle, get a little softer ride. That is a good plan, but I still feel like they're going to need a little more throttle and they haven't. No! They wind up stuffing it. Man, they just didn't have enough throttle. That nose dives right down. Wave comes over the top. Crew winds up absolutely drenched on this one. And unfortunately for this crew, they had the shot to be the hero. It just doesn't work out that way. And they're going to take a loss for the boats, which means the boats are going to take a loss in this episode. Thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boats vs. Haulover. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, do some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we got the Miami Boat Ramps channel that focuses on all the hilarity that happens at the boat ramps in Florida. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.